Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to play VAYNE AD carry, guys. We're going to be watching this guy. His name is Nump. He's playing on the EU West server. He has about 582 LP right now. He's Grandmaster. He's almost Challenger right now. But anyways, he has a pretty massive win rate. Also has some pretty good stats, including like a really good amount of farm. So we're going to be watching this guy today. We're going to be seeing like how this VAYNE player, this VAYNE one trick plays out the game. And I'm going to be teaching you guys everything. So with that being said, guys, let's get started right away. Now, quickly going to go over the runes that this guy in specific is using. This guy likes to play with press T attack. He also takes overheal. He pretty much takes alacrity every game and cut down. He usually goes for this page every game. He also likes to take Ravenous Hunter with Taste of Blood, with attack speed in the runes, AD, and armor. This guy also like values taking Doran Shield a lot as a starter item. This is very good on VAYNE because in specific matchups such as like Bard and Jhin, if you take a Doran Shield, you can tank up a lot of damage from your opponents as well. Of course, Doran Blade is also good. It's kind of like, it kind of comes down to the matchup whether you want to go for Doran Shield or wanting to go for a Doran Blade. So, as for the skill order, specifically this VAYNE player, he likes to max out his W first in almost all of his games. Then he maxes out his Q as secondary. And then he maxes out his E as last. Now he also plays with the Blade of the Rune King into the Rage Blade build. So he plays with the on-hit VAYNE build. Specifically, actually a really good setup here. He's been like trying to set up the lane for a gank since he knew that Lee Sin was already nearby. Instead of trying to push out the lane against Jhin and Bard early on so he doesn't get poked out as much, he knows that Lee Sin is on the way to bot lane, so he allows the enemy team to push down level 1-2. Pretty smart play. Pretty much all it takes is just like knowing where your jungler is and then setting up for them. So this VAYNE player, he always builds a Berserker's Greaves as the first item of the game. He always takes Blade of the Rune King as the first item after the Berserker's Greaves. And he always goes for a Rage Blade right after. Once again, like, the other guy just died. The Bard had to walk all the way back. Before Bard has made his way back, he went for the all-in against Jhin to try and get the kill before the support gets there. Guys, this is a very clean way to play VAYNE in the early game. Like, VAYNE is considered to be a champion, which is all about hyper-scaling towards mid-late game. But this VAYNE player in specific, he plays very defensive and plays around his teammates. And whenever he sees an opportunity, he goes for it. Yeah, right after building the Blade of the Rune King with the Rage Blade, this guy always builds a Phantom Dancer afterwards, and eventually getting a Death's Dance on VAYNE. Now that's something that you typically don't see, but this is this VAYNE player specific, he likes to build it. He builds Death's Dance in most majority of his games as the fourth item, which is something very unique. You don't see many VAYNE players building Death's Dance right now. Just coming back from base, he's immediately buying the Berserker's Greaves as the first item of the game. Like I've mentioned before, this is pretty much what he does in every game. This is something that I would typically recommend on AD carry in general, especially if you're playing a champion like VAYNE that uses her W a lot. If you get your Berserker's Greaves, not only do you get more attack speed, but you can also chase more easily, you can run a lot more easy. So kiting, positioning, everything becomes a lot more easy just for a total of like 1,100 gold. So right now, all that they have to do is simply like having the pressure in the lane. VAYNE is currently already pretty far ahead of Jhin. Like as soon as VAYNE gets to level 6 with Lulu, this matchup is going to be kind of over already. Like, Vayne and Lulu just needs to get to level 6 right now. As soon as they get level 6, they go for the all-in. Probably going to get a free kill on Jhin afterwards. Maybe if the jungler plays around Vayne 2, they are going to be able to carry very hard. He's just taking the push right now, just taking the pressure. And this allows for two things, guys. There's currently a ward inside the river, and there's also a ward in the tri-bush. So everything is being warded out completely. If you look at the map right now, Gragas is also showing up in mid lane right now. And if this Vayne player has like really good map awareness, which I'm assuming he does, he already knows where the jungler is going to be. Gragas was just mid lane. He walked towards the direction of the dragon, and Lulu and Vayne are already like ready to eventually like walk up there and check it out. At least there's no need to, since Gragas probably not going to be there right now. Now, one thing to keep in mind when playing Vayne as AD carry is you want to be avoiding poke, like lots of poke in general. But also, like, specifically against champions like Bard, you really don't want to get hit by Bard's Q, because getting stunned once, it's going to turn really bad for you. Keep in mind, like, even if you're in a hard matchup, even if you really don't get to scale as Vayne in the early game, in the pre-6, even if you don't really get any kills, it's going to be fine anyways, because if you have a champion like Lulu on support, the only thing you got to, like, focus on mainly is around getting level 6 and eventually just outscaling. Most of the time, like, all it takes is literally just getting, like, to level 6, eventually getting the Blade Rune King, and then just, like, all-inning right after. You can kind of see, like, the wave is now in the position of the side of Vayne. It's getting slow push right now, and there's a whole reason behind this. It's because Lee Sin is coming for a gank. Rather than sitting back and waiting for Lee Sin to gank the lane, Vayne knows, like, Bard's going to stun him. He knows that if he plays really aggressive, Jhin and Bard is probably going to move in and CC and do whatever they take to poke, right? This is a really smart play, because by slow pushing down the lane, having the lane in close to the center of the lane, if he slow pushes and goes for the all-in right after, Lee Sin can just walk inside the lane and force a 3v2. Like, this is not necessarily a good play by Lee Sin. It's just that Vayne, together with Lulu, they're like setting up the lane perfectly for ganks right now. This is really like typically how you want to play Vayne in the pre-6. You don't want to take any risks. You rather just either want to play defensive, depending on the matchup, or aggressive, of course, depending on the matchup. But also being able to set up the lane for ganks, especially if you have a Lee Sin in the jungle, really does matter. Now, he's already built a recurve bow, which is obviously, it provides attack speed. It also provides on hit 15 physical damage on hit. This is pretty good on Vayne because, once again, he's maxing his W. He's going for the on-hit, like, kind of like Vayne playstyle. So, the faster you can gain attack speed, the better. He also has 2 longswords already because he's building towards the Blade of the Rune King. So, around level 6, this lane is pretty much over. Like, Vayne can easily kill both of Bard, like, he can easily get Jhin and Bard at the same time. Vayne does not even focus on getting the farm anymore. She's just going straight in for a fight. So like I've mentioned before, guys, you don't even have to try hard anymore. It's just like once Vayne gets to level 6, this matchup is going to be in the favor. Already standing 2 kills, guys, on Vayne. While this is actually considered to be a matchup highly in the favor of Jhin in the pre-6. Gragas comes in, accidentally takes up about 2 turret, like, the turret kills him. kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. He already has like nearly like around 11 minutes in the game. He already nearly has the Blade of the Rune King being completed already. Lee Sin comes in for a gank again. VAYNE is pretty much well aware of this. It's not even farming out the creep waves anymore, like the creeps anymore. Just going straight in for another Q. Taking down the Bard as well as taking down this Jhin as well, guys. This is typically how you want to play VAYNE. Having good map awareness, seeing where the junglers are going to come from, especially your own jungler and everything else, it really matters when you play VAYNE. Now they get all the platings already, including this next wave. Jhin is going to lose the cannon right now. He also sees that Gragas is currently mid lane. So VAYNE and Lulu could sit between the two turrets. Lee Sin is already coming in for another gank in bot lane. Takes down another plating as well. Just keeps auto-attacking the turret. But now immediately goes and help out the Lee Sin. Doesn't even need to help anymore. This is some very clean gameplay from both VAYNE as well as Lee Sin and Lulu. Lee Sin is just standing between the two turrets while VAYNE can take the platings together with Lulu. As soon as Jhin comes in, they can just go ahead and take another fight. Nice, they nearly have the turret. It's about 13 minutes. This is very good. Just 13 minutes in the game. Already has nearly the item completed. And already has the turret, guys. No, I won't lie, this game is being played very well both by VAYNE and Lee Sin. Now something which AD carries generally don't think about. It's not just VAYNE, but it's also like everything else, like every other champion. Guys, if you're playing AD carry and you get your the turret down after like 12 or 13 minutes, the best thing you could do is to go topside and swap with your top laner. So that allows you to force the top lane as well, being able to like 2v1 the top laner and being able to take the turret as well. This is like a very standard way in high elo to snowball games very quickly. It's really important whenever like the AD carry gets a turret down that you swap. It's something that people often forget. So if your top laner swaps with you, he gets to 1v1 or perhaps even 1v2 the enemy bot lane because they're already weak, because they're losing. And since you're really fat, you can easily like 2v1 the enemy top laner. Doesn't matter how fat he is. Right now, like literally the only thing they have to do is simply to push down top lane right now and reset without taking that much risks. He's got to be really careful though. Malphite's close. Malphite flashes in for an ultimate, but even after Riven jumped in together with Malphite's ultimate, VAYNE is so fed right now together with Lulu that she can't be stopped. She completely can't be stopped. Only now that after like all of the team collapsed on her. Yeah. Honestly, very unfortunate that VAYNE happens to get caught right now, but still so far, VAYNE is doing pretty well. This is kind of like how you want to play out the mid game as VAYNE, guys. Before going back top lane, something that I would highly recommend as well is taking down the jungle camps with you. This is also, once again, something that many AD carriers forget to do, but it allows you to get to your power spike a lot faster. If you have like an entire wave of creeps being pushed towards you, instead of going to that wave immediately, just take down like a jungle camp and then rotate towards the big wave. So you can like farm a lot more efficiently. Being able to farm, like having good like efficiency with farming really does matter if you want to climb. Now he's like Vayne nearly has the Rage Blade already. Once she actually does get the Rage Blade, this game is going to be over already. Once Vayne and Lulu gets a Rage Blade with Blade, the game is going to be over. Like she will have too much damage. She's going for a big risk. That Vayne was going for a massive risk, and she gets caught for it. Very interesting. Like, this Vayne plays very interesting. Takes down the risks. Honestly, very interesting way how Vayne actually plays out. She's got the Blade of the Rune King right now. She also has the Rage Blade. She has the Berserker's Greaves already. She now gets the red buff as well. So if she gets to stack up the Rage Blade, this game is going to be over. Like, once a team fight gets going for just a couple seconds and gets completely stacked up, look at the damage. She's been scaling up so much from winning the early game as well as getting through the mid game that nobody can 1v1 her right now. The team is taking down the top lane turret. Vayne is just taking down the mid turret as well as like taking all the XP for her own. All she has to do right now is simply to push mid, rotate with her team together so that she doesn't get into awkward situations. Vayne is just diving through turrets, guys. Look at that. She can destroy everybody within less than 2 seconds, guys. This is why I'm telling you that this build is so broken. Takes down inhib as well. This is where the game is going to end. Like, the enemy team won't be able to like fight them anymore. Vayne is now also stacking up the Rage Blade against the creeps. So once they do get into a fight, she will do massive damage. Malphite also missing the ultimate against Vayne. Like, Vayne can be something more, you see that. Yeah, this is where the game is going to end. Like, Vayne does not even need the ultimate anymore. Anyways, guys, Vayne is a really good AD carry right now. She does take it's a kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of AD carry. So if you guys are thinking of picking up Vayne, do keep in mind she's not that easy to play. Especially her early game is probably one of the weakest, but afterwards she becomes insanely strong. Anyways, hopefully I've been able to teach you guys something today. Thank you so much for watching today's YouTube video. Don't forget to check out my stream, guys. I'm streaming myself, I'm streaming like 6 times a week myself. Streaming challenging games. So if you guys want to see those, don't forget to check it out. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys up in the next video. Peace.